Here's something that some of the free press organizations, including Free Press and Fight for the Future, had to say on Twitter earlier today. This is what your government's working on. This is what they're going to vote on in a couple hours. You ready for this? This is what they're doing. This is the spy bill they're trying to push through while everyone is distracted by a pandemic. This is what they're up to. Check this out. The Senate is trying to reauthorize abusive government spying power while we're all distracted with COVID. That's what your government's working on for you. They're trying to reauthorize spying powers via the Patriot Act in a bipartisan measure, which we're going to read more into what this bipartisan measure is. That's what they're working on right now. Are you scared? Are you scared because you can't go to work? Are you running out of toilet paper? Are you concerned for your friends and loved ones who maybe have compromised immune systems or are older, so they're really susceptible and vulnerable right now? Are you concerned about them? Are you really getting tired of what you're following on Netflix? Did you invest in a series on HBO and then slowly started to become disappointed by it? By the way, getting a little personal here. I started a series on HBO and I was really into it at first. And then it took the easy way out, I felt like, and now I can't. Like I'm kind of like, I think I want to bail. My wife wants to see it through. She's like, I'm going to finish it. I might have to finish it on my own. I was like, yeah, you might. I think I'm bailing. It's called Outsider. It's just me. It's just my take on it. I'm not saying don't watch the thing. I'm just saying I invested in it, and I've since been disappointed. Stephen King, and for those of you that saw my interview with Kevin Ronka, we talked about this. Stephen King, I feel like one of the common criticisms of him that I agree with is, he sets up a really good story, but then the ending kind of, okay, that's the route he took. And this is no different for me, in my opinion. Anyway, so what are they doing exactly? So Free Press goes on to say, call 202-919-7073 to be connected to your senator. Tell them to vote no and stop Trump spying. Well, so here's what's going on exactly in this bill. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this. So this bill, in short, reauthorizes a lot of spying powers. But why is it bipartisan, you ask? Well, we're going to find out why. What's in H.R. 6172, the House's compromise FISA reform bill? So the House of Representatives today is a bipartisan bill that would reauthorize certain intelligence-related authorities that are set to expire on March 15th. So in short, what it does, it reauthorizes parts of the Patriot Act, parts of endless surveillance, which, by the way, has done nothing. I'll repeat that again for the folks in the back. Has done nothing to keep us safer as a society. It's done absolutely, positively nothing. And digital rights activists remind people of that every time this comes to the surface. Say, by the way, this isn't keeping us safer. This isn't making us a safer society. I get it. At times, you need to sacrifice a little bit in the name of safety. There's a time and place for that, but this is not it. This is an overreach. This is Orwellian. This is dangerous. The Patriot Act should have never happened. You know who voted against the Patriot Act? The people who actually took the time to read the bill, like Dennis Kucinich. He read it and was like, no, this ain't happening. And in 2008, he was the only person on that debate stage who had the courage to vote against it, and they got him off of it as quickly as they could. And they rinse and repeat that every election cycle. So here's the compromise bill was worked out between House leadership as well as House Judiciary and House Intelligence Committees. Okay, so let's talk about how this is a compromise, because the New York Times, by the way, they're all celebrating this bill. They're saying that it's a compromise that's going to keep these things in check. Well, is it really? Okay, so the bill would extend 3 expiring tools, like the FBI's ability to get FISA court orders for business records deemed relevant to a national security investigation, while ending legal authority for an expensive, dysfunctional, and defunct NSA system that had allowed counterterrorism analysts to swiftly access logs of Americans' phone call. The bill would also expand when FISA judges, who normally only hear from the blah, 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 should appoint an outsider to critique the government's position. Under the bill, the FISA court would also be directed to consider appointing a government critic. An application presents exceptional concerns about protecting the First Amendment rights of the surveillance subject. The bill would not make a change that many civil liberties. Here's an important part. The bill would not make a change that many civil liberties and privacy advocacy groups have advocated, letting defense lawyers read FISA applications if their clients are prosecuted on the basis of evidence derived from such wiretaps or searches, as defense lawyers are permitted to do in ordinary criminal cases. But it would also expand criminal penalties issues surrounding misuse of FISA, rising from 5 to 8 years in prison for engaging in electronic surveillance without following procedures. The bill would also the disclosure of an existence of an application or classified information contained in it. And it would also make clear that the government cannot use business records in order to collect information. And it requires a search warrant. Okay. So here's a few interesting pieces, though. Here, so check this out. Use of information in trials, hearings, and other precision. This section amends 501H of FISA to clarify that information obtained or derived from the production of tangible things pursuant to Section 501 investigation shall be deemed to be information acquired from an electronic surveillance, blah, blah, blah. This is the case unless, this is the important part, this is the case unless a court or U.S. authority finds that providing notice to an aggrieved person would harm the national security of the U.S. Man, how broad is that? An aggrieved person is defined as the target of an investigation, where the activities or communications of the target are described in the tangible things the government intends to use or disclose in any trial, hearing, or other proceeding. In other words, here's the big compromise, folks. Here's what's going on. They're expanding all the spying powers pursuant to the Patriot Act. Or not, renewing, excuse me. They're renewing all the spying powers pursuant to the Patriot Act. That's what they're doing. Here's the compromise part. You have to ask permission for a couple things. And all you have to say is, oh, well, this is an aggravated person. This is a aggrieved person. Are you sure? Yeah, we're sure. Okay. Oh, and if you misuse this, you might go to jail for 5 to 8 years. But who decides whether you misuse something or not? Your peers. Your peers. So basically, this is renewing a lot of parts of the Patriot Act. This is basically a renewal of the Patriot Act that was set to expire. But there's a couple little things where you have to ask permission. And all you have to say is, no, this is a person of interest. Are you sure? Yeah, we're sure. Need to provide evidence of that? No, we're really sure. We're really sure. So once again, you see bipartisanship. The Republicans have a terrible idea. The Democrats are going to help them sell it by saying, we compromised on this baby to protect you, the person. How did you protect us? Well, if they want to just go through your records, if they want to get business logs, if they want to get phone records, if they want to just basically intrude on your privacy, they just have to tell us that you're an aggravated person and you're a person of interest, and they're really sure about that. And they're going to ask for permission first before they totally invade your privacy. And if they don't ask permission, they might get in trouble. They might, hey, you didn't ask permission. Well, it was really important. Are you sure it was really important? Yeah, okay, you're not in trouble. That's what this bill is. That's what this bill is. And that's what your Senate's working on right now. They're voting on that today. There's a medical pandemic happening. That is what their priority is. That's what they're doing today. Here's what Fight for the Future has to say about it. Call 202. It's pretty much the same thing Free Press said. Call 202-919-7073. Tell your senator. Oh, wait, sorry. Let me have you see it here. To vote no on cloture for the Patriot Act. This will allow members of Congress to actually talk about all the ways this dangerous law has been abused to spy on Americans. Let's put an end to invasive government surveillance. So tell your senators to vote no. We'll see. This probably has a good chance at passing the Senate. This likely has a very good chance at passing the Senate. And that's what they're working on today. In the middle of a pandemic. Hey guys, Mitt Romney says you might get $1,000. He's entertaining the idea that maybe we'll give you $1,000. Meanwhile, the Senate's also voting to expand, to renew spying powers for the Patriot Act. They're going to do that. But you have to ask permission a little more strictly now. They have to get a little more permission from their peers. They'll for sure get it. Wow. Does any of this sound like a government working for the people at all? This is a government working actively against the people. That's exactly what this is. During a pandemic, they're doing this. During a pandemic, they want to make sure that there's endless surveillance on you. How is this making us safer? Is this going to help during the pandemic? Unreal. Like it's just so... And you're not going to hear anything about this on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News. You're not going to hear anything about this. They're going to vote on this. It'll probably pass the Senate. Probably get a signature from Donald Trump. We'll see. I mean, act now here. Do what you can. Call the number. I mean, hey, a lot of us are home right now. If we all call, maybe that'll do something. 202-919-7073. And by the way, calling is always still, even in our digital day and age, calling is the most effective way because they have to notate it. They have to notate it when you call. So calling is still the most effective way to make your voice be heard on policy towards your elected official. So there you go. That number again, 202-919-7073. But that's what the Senate's working on during a pandemic. Boy.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make